The whole of Africa's LGBTQ community feared it, as Uganda's parliament cheered it, ignoring warnings from the West to pass the harshest anti-gay law in the world. Lawmakers declared victory.
If you perform a sexual act with a person of the same sex, then you have committed the offense of homosexuality. And what is the punishment? Imprisonment for life.
So-called aggravated homosexuality, including gay sex while infected with HIV, can carry the death penalty. Those who help the LGBTQ community also face up to 20 years in prison. Activists were in tears.
Where are we supposed to go? How did we become refugees in our own countries?
In the West, the new law was condemned, U.S. President Joe Biden calling it a tragic violation of universal human rights. He's considering additional steps, including sanctions.
So the Uganda anti-LGBTQ+ bill has just been signed into law by President Yoweri Museveni. And I have to say this, right? I really have to say this. Congrats to all those MPs who sat there and made this be possible. Congrats to all of them. You know, this is one of those moments people from the future will look back and wonder how stupid we all were making things like this. I mean, this is one of those moments when people will be like, our grandfathers or our parents were really stupid. Sitting there making a bill like this one and signing it into law. It's so bizarre. And this is the question I ask myself, okay? This is the question I've been asking myself. You know, I have followed this story very, very closely. And I have asked myself this question, like, what is the point? Yeah, what is the point? Like, what is the motive? What are we going to achieve? What are the MPs and the political elite in Uganda going to achieve? What are you, the people, the ordinary people who are in favor of this bill going to achieve? How does a bill like this empower people in the community? Now, I might be short-sighted. I might not have all the answers. That is why I'm hoping that some of you guys out there, especially those of you in Uganda, can educate me. I am open to be educated, and I stand corrected. I might be wrong, honestly. After all, who does know everything, right? But if I have to be like really, really honest with you guys, I think that we Africans are good at avoiding the real problems and focusing on the wrong issues. That is what I think. Because if you ask yourself, right, you really ask yourself, how is the life of the people in Uganda? How is the economic of Uganda? How is the living standard of an ordinary Ugandan in the street? How are they living? How are they faring? Are they able to meet up with the United Nations minimum wage standard? Are ordinary Ugandans able to afford 3 square meals a day? Do they have jobs? And not just jobs, but do they have well-paid jobs? Are they being paid according to global standard? I don't know. Shouldn't MPs be trying to fix problems like this? Isn't it the job of those political elites, those government officials, to make sure that people can eat, can be happy, and can have shelter. And I understand that some of you guys might say that, well, in order for this to happen, we need to keep a moral society, and we need to make sure that people do not engage or indulge in certain activities. Fair point. But don't you think that if people indulge in activities that are not criminal, if people indulge in activities that do not affect other people, shouldn't they be allowed to do it? Shouldn't they be allowed to live their lives? Shouldn't they be allowed to be happy? Talking about crimes, talking about kidnapping, talking about human trafficking, which is also in the bill. All these crimes are not related to the LGBTQ plus community alone. It is a crime in the whole country. It is a crime that all of society is facing. And to kind of like associate it with LGBTQ plus people, it makes it look like only people who identifies or only people in this community commit crimes like that. If someone kidnapped another person, if someone forced people to do things against their will, they deserve to be punished. It doesn't matter what their sexual orientation is or what their gender identity is. It doesn't matter. They should be punished. So I really do not get the point. I really do not understand why this has to be passed now. But if I were to speculate, if I were to just let you know my thoughts, I would say that there is a behind game going on. The government of Uganda is having an inward or a kind of like closed door war with the Western power. And the LGBTQ plus law is just a way to stick it out to them. LGBTQ plus people are like collateral damage. That is what I would speculate. Because there is no obvious reason why this law should come up now. There's no obvious reason. And also, the Western world getting involved in African issue is wrong. In as much as I'm against this law, in as much as I'm against this kind of draconian law, the US, the Canadian, and whoever, the European, talking about this issue, it's none of their business. I would rather suggest they stay out of it and they let us, the Africans, handle this by ourselves. They cannot keep on intruding. They cannot keep on just barging into African affairs. Africa must learn to deal with its own issues. So no matter what Joe Biden was saying, or no matter what Justin Trudeau said, I really do not care, and I really do not appreciate them putting their mouth into things that does not concern them. And my last point before I go, since the political elite in Uganda are trying to convince ordinary Ugandans that the so-called LGBTQ plus is a Western agenda that is being forced on them, the Ugandans, and they do not like it, maybe they should also reject Western support. Maybe they should also start thinking about how to give back some of the foreign aid that is being given to them. Or they should make a law that prohibits them from getting foreign aid from Westerners, since that also is a Western agenda. So they should stop getting it. But no, they will receive it. And also, to all of you out there, especially people in Uganda, I have said this before and I will say it again. A simple Google search about LGBTQ activities in Uganda will let you know it's not a Western agenda. Maybe the name LGBTQ plus might have been put together by the West, but the whole same-sex activities has always been going on in Uganda. Look for it, search for it online. We live in a more advanced society where everything is a click away. Just use your phone and search, and you will see tons of information about LGBTQ activities in your country. It's not secret. The whole of East Africa had LGBT activities pre-colonial period. Search it, you'll see. And to you guys out there, what is your take on this new law in Uganda? How will this law impact the life and activities of the people in Uganda? Will it make Uganda a more safer place? Will it make Ugandans more prosperous and happier? How will a law like this one benefit the ordinary Ugandan in the street? Let us know in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And also, please don't forget to like this video, share this video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel, because little bit of good you like what you're doing just now help us a lot, and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.